Hello, Old School Gamer 1971 here, greetings one and all, especially to you, Millie and Lloyd. Today my third hour thoughts is on Vampyr. I've been playing this game for around 3 hours, and this is what I think. Vampyr by Don't Nod Entertainment. It's an action RPG that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018. Nope, but I kinda hope that it gets one. Don't Nod Entertainment are a French developer based in Paris. Founded in 2008, their first game, Remember Me, released in 2013 and was a financial failure. For their next game they had to rely on public funding. Life is Strange in 2015 was a big time success. They followed it up with Vampyr, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit and Life is Strange 2 in 2018 and planned the release of Twin Mirror in 2019. They have used the Unreal Engine in all the releases so far, and they have partnered with Capcom, Square Enix, Focus Home Interactive and Bandai Namco for their games. As of 2018 they have 166 employees in-house. You play as Jonathan E. Reed, a doctor who has become a vampire very recently. Just as the game begins, in fact, he is tempted to kill ordinary everyday folk. To do this he must gather information, but at the same time he has to maintain a healthy relationship with 60 citizens under his care. You can choose a victim, but then you must face the consequences of the citizens. Dr. Reed has returned to London after the Great War in 1918. He awakens in a mass grave and has to crawl out of the mass grave on his hands and knees. He accidentally causes the death of his sister whilst in a bloodlust. She had been searching for Reed at the time, after meeting several vampires, one of which is Lady Ashbury. Lady Ashbury kills William Bishop, another vampire. Dr. Edgar Swansea hires Reed to be a doctor at the Pembroke Hospital, whilst Reed learns about his new needs. With it being Don't Nod, there is more story for you to uncover and twists for you to behold. So is Vampyr a dark shadow that haunts London in the early 20th century? Or is it plastic fangs and glowing vampires in daylight shit? The game opens with a dark poem, which is kinda cool. You see stills from Reed's journey. Then you see a death pit. Bodies are strewn all around. Again, more words of darkness, to sort of like brighten the mood. Finally, Reed awakens. He finds himself surrounded by corpses. He crawls on his hands and knees through the bloody corpses to clamber out of the pit. And then it's over to you. Pretty much a short and sweet intro. Enough to make the game, shall we say, interesting. Graphically this game is rather good. Its art style has a very dark style to it. Its colour scheme is authentic to the time period. Browns, greys and blacks with odd splashes of colour. The characters look dirty and dishevelled, the world looks dirty and dank, it has a real gothic feel to it. This does look like London from that era, almost like the modern era was nowhere near ready, and yet it was only 100 years ago. The animation is also good here, as in the main characters and even the background characters for that matter. One really nice touch is being able to move the camera during conversations. Sometimes stuff gets in the way, such as a wooden pillar. So being able to move the camera allows you to see everything. The combat looks so good. fluid movement and responsive. It also gets more and more brutal as you go through the game. The more I played, the better it got. Also, I like the cinematic style of the cutscenes. It really does draw you in. The whole game looks crisp and certainly a game I could see myself having hours of fun on.
My sweet brother. What have you done?
Mary! Oh, no! Mary! Hold on! Please, hold on! Oh, God. Oh, no. Mary.
The first thing you notice once a game starts is the voice of the hunger. It tempts you to kill. This is such a nice touch, especially with the headphones. I am so glad that this was not the Dick Van Dyke Troupe, nor the Snatch on Ice School for Elocution. The voiceover sounds natural. The music does a great job of setting the scene and mood perfectly. The language used here is good. It does not seem to insult your intelligence at every turn. Sometimes this takes you out of the game. Here, I am happy to report, it doesn't. When a game relies on shadows and the night to set the mood, the sound is most important, as it can take you in its hand and put you on the very edge. I don't really have any niggles with the sound here, so Spotify again will never go on during this game.
This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast! Doesn't like fire, does it? Sorry.
The controls are tight and really make this a pleasure to play, both in and out of combat. Combat is a big thing in this game, so getting those controls right is really important. You can do the whole game, however, without killing anyone. It makes it virtually impossible to level up, but is the best way of keeping your cover as the Doctor. Reed can also turn others into vampires. All the normal vampiric traits are fully on show here. You can only enter a building once invited. A stake through the heart to kill a vampire. You can travel as smoke. This is rather cool. Finally, sunlight kills. It doesn't turn you into some day-walking vampiric glowworm. When you do them for the first time, it does seem like Reed is learning his powers. I like the gameplay here. It feels like they explored the vampiric folklore and set about bringing it to life in this game. I would say they succeeded in what they tried to do. It is fun to play and didn't seem boring in the slightest in the 3 hours that I played. I do like Dr. Reed as a character. He has an interesting backstory. The main story is also pretty damn fine also. Both are easy to get into and invested in. The graphics and sound of London and the inhabitants thereof, it all draws you into the world, and it comes together to make a playground that you want to play in. At the beginning, mankind is a threat, and that never changes, but I did feel undecided in killing them. Don't Nod games always had great atmosphere and story to boot, and can I please take a moment to congratulate Don't Nod for making vampires killers again. But in itself, that is a choice, but nonetheless it is good to see them in this guise. The 3 hours I played were not enough. It was only just scratching the surface. This feels authentic, looks authentic, sounds authentic. Everything just sits right for this era, obviously not including the vampires. Yes, most definitely. I've always had a fascination with macabre and things that go bump in the night, especially vampires. There have not been many games recently with vampires as the main characters. This game on the whole is very well put together, and 3 hours was just never going to be enough. Some game mechanics we may have seen somewhere else before, but never so accomplished in one game. Yes, the game does have flaws, but the game overcomes them by what is on offer. The combat is tight and certainly a challenge. With some good combat animation to boot, it looks brutal. The interactions with characters are interesting and can be a little long, but that is by choice, which is something that you have in this game. Decisions that matter, it changes the game. It was always in my mind that I had always enjoyed Don't Nod stories so far, and this one did not disappoint. In short, if any of this sounds appealing, then get it, as it does so much right. So Vampyr is a dark shadow that haunts London in the early 20th century. So that about wraps it up. I hope you all have a good day. If this has been helpful in any way, please like, comment, share and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and makes an old man very happy. I post new videos every week. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.